Hello everyone, I hope you're doing fine. In this devlog I thought I'd do a rundown of the physiology in crisis response. The main goal of my physiology system is to make characters respond to wounds and injury in a realistic and believable way. It ties much into how the projectile ballistics work, but I'll focus on the physiological end of it today. To help demonstrate this, I have a visualization for some of the properties of their physiology. It has more rows that I will add later as I explain. The one displaying now is physical work, and it represents the amount of work being done by the character. You can see that when I stand still it's not that much. When I start moving it becomes more, and when I sprint it's at its maximum. You'll also see that it takes some work to manipulate weapons. Pistols aren't that heavy, so not that much for them, but if I switch to this heavier rifle, you'll see that it takes some work to hold it up high, and less when I'm pointing it down. Now the characters need oxygen, they need it to stay conscious and alive. And the amount of physical work being done by the character determines how much oxygen the body will use. This bar displays the amount of oxygen in the character's bloodstream. Standing still, again I'm not doing much work, but when I start moving, you'll see that blood oxygen dips down and then goes back up. This is with the frequency of the heartbeat. When I sprint, it becomes even more evident. Now I'll add the blood pressure. The blood pressure rises when the heart muscle contracts, and it falls when the heart muscle relaxes. With each heartbeat, oxygen is delivered to the blood. You'll see that with each heartbeat, the blood oxygen level increases. And then, as the body is doing work, it is also taking oxygen. So it's continuously added to and removed from. But the oxygen must come from somewhere, and that is of course from the lungs. So here is the respiration cycle. The respiration cycle is simply inhaling and exhaling, and each cycle adds oxygen to the lungs. And now you'll understand that what the heart is doing is that it's taking oxygen from the lungs in order to deliver it to the bloodstream. If the body is using more oxygen than is delivered to the lungs by breathing, then it must compensate by breathing faster. And in much the same way, if the blood oxygen level is too low, then the heart must compensate by beating faster. I'll try to demonstrate this by having a run. Well, I've run around for a bit now, but this guy is actually in pretty good shape. But hopefully you get the idea. When the body is doing work, it is using more oxygen, and the body must compensate the use of oxygen by breathing faster and by circulating the blood faster. And this applies to injury as well. If a body is losing blood, then it's losing part of the ability to deliver oxygen to the brain and muscles. And again, the heart must compensate by beating faster in order to deliver the oxygen required. Let's look at the final two bars for the blood. They are the diastolic pressure, now second from the top, and blood volume. The blood volume simply denotes the amount of blood left in the body. And the diastolic pressure is just a fancy name for the lowest blood pressure during the heartbeat cycle. You'll see that the blood pressure never drops below this. And it is also the amount of blood pressure that would remain if the heart were to stop beating. I'm done talking, now I'll just leave you with a few demonstrations.